Hi everyone, it's Roslyn, your codependency recovery coach here. Thank you for tuning in today. It's a privilege and an honour to have you in this community. I really love this community. Today we're going to carry on with more information from this book, Codependence Recovery, a wonderful book with it's not fluffy, it's got good wonderful ideas in it. And today I'm going to give you some tips from page 47, and I'm going to read a little bit first. Codependence, the mother of all addictions. Why I say that is it sits underneath all of the other addictions. We might drink, eat sugar, sex, control, dramatize, be addicted to conflict, be addicted to overwhelm, all of these things that are normalized as part of our life. But what's underneath that is what's driving us to do these things. So that's why I call codependence the mother, the biggest of all addictions, because it sits underneath all of the other symptoms of the unresolved issues inside of us, the unresolved issues in our tissues. So I've just got a few today of symptoms that you might have experienced as codependency. So symptoms of depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. Do you experience those? They're ghastly. I remember them myself. And so do you experience those at times or all the time? Is anxiety a part of your life? Are you always anxious? Are you always depressed? You know, I believe depression is because we've packed down, we've suppressed things in our past. So what we want to do is look at those and release them so we can release the depression. And also sometimes we can be depressed because we're uninspired. So with my clients, sometimes I go, what really inspires you? And start bringing them towards doing some of those things, because depression is a very low frequency that we sit on, and then we keep attracting more and more things to make us more depressed. It becomes our identity and it becomes habitual. So depression, anxiety, and panic attacks are very much a symptom of codependency. Do you wake in the morning? This was me, and I have a lot of clients that find their mornings are the hardest. Do you wake in the morning like foreboding the day ahead, like how am I going to cope with today? So if that's you, please reach out to me. Remember, I do a 20-minute discovery so you can share things to see if I may be able to help you with these situations. I can promise you there's another way to live. All of these things I'm talking about, that was me. My whole life, I was a full-blown codependent. And you don't have to feel afraid or unsafe to share with me what you're going through, because I can tell you, I've done all these things, I was all these things, and if I didn't do it, I thought about doing it. So a fear of losing people in your life as though you couldn't live without them. I would hang on to friendships. I would hang on to relationships that weren't healthy for me because I didn't want to lose these people, even if it was very detrimental to my well-being. So another one is a fear of people not liking you and feeling that you must do things for their approval. I would go to things that I didn't want to do. I would pay money. I would go below my value system. And I have a pretty high value system, but I would go below it just to hold people in my life so that I wanted them to like them. Do you know why I was so desperate for all of those people to like me? Because I didn't like me. So there's another way to live. I can assure you of that. Being so busy giving and doing for others that you have nothing left for yourself. I was just like busy the whole time. I kept myself busy. I kept myself busy with work addiction, with always doing things for other people when I wasn't looking after myself. And now when people say to me, oh Ros, you must be busy, you've got with your work, and I won't use that word because I was addicted to it. I now say, which is how I live my life, I'm proactively going with the flow. It doesn't mean you sit on the couch and do nothing. It means you proactively go with the flow in a healthy way. Such a much better way to live, I can promise you that. saying yes to things you don't want to do and doing them despite your inner voice, your intuition telling you otherwise. That I was a classic at that. People would ask me places, I would say yes, and that sometimes those places, to go to them for me, cost me a lot of money, but I didn't have the courage to say no. And when I'm helping my clients, I teach them how to say no without a story, without blame, and without judgment. Just thank you very much for your kind invite. I've decided not to go. Full stop. That's the biggest thing. The big full stop. So, but these aren't the only signs of codependency. There's a lot more under the lid of all of these things that start rising up as I start to work with people. And we work at them. I know what it's like to have so much fear and no courage to be honest. So we work with them in baby steps so we can overcome ourselves one step, one day at a time, and build that muscle. And if things are too big to look at, we bring it back down so it's manageable. Like, we go for the low-hanging fruit first. We don't go for the big things so that we fail again and then put ourselves back into the codependent state. So, again, I do a 20-minute discovery call. Please feel free to go to my website, rosalindsaunders.com.au. Reach out to me, have a chat, because I can assure you there's another way of living and to find more fun and joy in your life. Do you know what? Most people that come to me, when I ask them what do they do for fun in their life, they say, what's that? People aren't having fun. People aren't feeling joy. And I'm not rah, happy, a fantasy way of doing it. I'm talking about an inner fulfillment and an inner joy, that we find joy in all things. Even the challenging times, we have someone to support us to find the fulfillment or the joy or even the excitement in things, whereas we didn't before, because we were so sort of like uptight, anxious and busy, all of those symptoms. So I hope that's helped today, and thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you all. Thank you.